LeBron James injures his hand at the All-Star game. The Dodgers, they hire a video coordinator who is a known cheater. And oh, by the way, the Rams have cut a starting quarterback. Just not that one. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. And it is the greatest sports city in the world. This is Faithful Angelenos, the morning report. We added a new subscriber to the Angelino family yesterday. Thank you for getting in on the ground floor. Thank you for starting year 2 of the program with us. Appreciate every last one of you. If you like the content that we put out, click the like button. Click the subscribe button. There's a notifications bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And sure, comment. Look forward to it. Before we go through the news and notes from the day, a look at the scoreboard. And it will be a quick one. Yesterday, no games involving LA teams. Today, no games involving LA teams. So, LeBron James, he exits the All-Star game last night with a bruise on his right hand. Now, people were guessing how it happened. It may have been when he was trying to block a shot in the first half, got his finger stuck in the rim. So yeah, have a seat. What is this game worth, right? For who? For what? Besides, James called the upcoming schedule of the season 23 of the most important games of my career, unquote. He said he didn't want to miss the playoffs in consecutive years, and that obviously makes a lot of sense. As for the team, he says if they can punch their ticket to the playoffs, he believes the Lakers can compete with anyone. How much of that is bluster? How much of that is a legit determination of how much talent is on the team? Maybe a little bit of both. Maybe a lot of one. You be the judge. Dennis Schrader, by the way, has been benched by Coach Darvin Ham. The guard is actually all right with it. Ham told Schrader that the move would allow him to run the offense more. It'll just be with the second team. Austin Rivers, Rui Hachimura, Troy Brown, Mo Bamba. Schrader, for his part, took it like a pro, said he just wants to win at this point of his career. Good for him. The Dodgers hired a video replay coordinator, J.T. Watkins, which, would be nice if he was the guy that, put the blooper reels up on the outfield scoreboard. Those are always great. The wife, the kids, they love that stuff. That's not his job. He worked for the Red Sox in 2018 and was the architect of a sign-stealing scheme that helped them win a title over the Dodgers. Now, before we all smash our face through the plate glass window, let's take a little bit of a deeper look into this. Major League Baseball investigated Boston in the wake of the Red Sox and the Astros cheating scandal. And what they did, according to Major League Baseball, was, quote, far more limited in scope and impact compared with the Astros, unquote. Here is what Watkins allegedly did. Now, in between games, he would be in his room. He would break down tape from the outfield camera that goes to home plate, and he would decode signs. Totally legal, by the way. It's absolutely legal to do that. Then he would use the in-game feed to supplement his work. Not so legal to do that. Not legal at all. The data was then transferred to the bench, which would be used by runners when they reach second base. So in other words, it wasn't like it was every pitch, like in Houston, where they would be banging on a drum and all this other mess. Watkins did confess to his misdeeds, even to the Dodgers when he interviewed for the job. Apparently, he allegedly expressed remorse. Now, Watkins did not comment. It was the LA Times who wrote this big article about it. But Mookie Betts did comment. Betts and Watkins were teammates in the minors, and he called Watkins, quote, a good buddy of mine, unquote. Some of these stories just make me want to go running out and get a medical marijuana card, I swear. All this time talking about how it's so important not to cheat, and the Dodgers go out and hire somebody who screwed them. You tell me, guys. You tell me. Noah Syndergaard was saying, we were talking about this last week, Noah Syndergaard was saying that he could top 100 miles an hour again. Now, Dodgers management would not say what he is actually hitting with these pitches, but it sounds as if Bob Nightingale of USA Today snuck a speed gun into Camelback Ranch, because he's reporting that Syndergaard is hitting at least 96 miles an hour. By the way, LA only spent about $44.5 million on free agents in the offseason. That was a side note from Nightingale. Dylan Hernandez of the LA Times, who also was the one who wrote the story about the video coordinator, he added that he believes Dave Roberts rediscovered his love for the game during the offseason, because instead of predicting World Series titles, Roberts is running around saying things like, you know, you're going to like this team, you're going to love this team, you know, which is good. I'll believe that Roberts has rediscovered his love of the game more if he lets his starting pitchers pitch a little longer. Can we swing that? Will you love your starting pitchers a little more? Is that a possibility? Scribes have been assuming, or I should say, Scribes have been asking who is now going to be the leader of the Dodgers, because Justin Turner was, and he's gone. It's bizarre how Scribes worry about things like that. Freddie Freeman said as much. He told The Athletic, quote, anybody who's going to come in here and say, I'm going to be the leader, everyone else is going to eye roll when you do that. It's going to happen organically, unquote. And Freeman's right. Who just steps in and acts like he's the baddest mug ever to walk the planet? Good luck with that. Good luck having people believe that. It's a perfect response. Only Scribes look for somebody who's going to be running around like he's got a captaincy on his jersey like it was the NHL. We worry about weird things like that. Stat geeks have been projecting how the Dodgers will do this year with their computer models. One group has predicted LA is going to win 96 games, win the NL West. Another predicts 88 games and maybe not win the NL West. Just throwing it out there. The Rams did not cut Jalen Ramsey, despite the predictions of the press. Instead, what they did was they cut cornerback Troy Hill. His contract was voided. That will make him a free agent, technically, on March 15th. Now, Hill, he bounced around the league. A few years ago, he winds up in LA, has a terrific year, but then winds up becoming a free agent, spends 1 year in Cleveland, struggles. And the Rams traded for him, thinking that they could reignite the magic. Troy Hill, same defense that he had with Raheem Morris, same defense that he had. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. Hill starts 12 games. He has 67 tackles and 1 interception. And the Rams, all, by the way, they think they have a couple of starters from their rookie class from last year. Jacoby, can't remember the gentleman's name. But a couple of rookies from last year appear to be in the mix for taking over the starting spot. Hill, by the way, is 31. Mentioned yesterday, the Rams 2022 draft class was reviewed. Jacoby Durant, that was a Rams cornerback that they liked, by the way. Going back to the Chargers, NFL rated the Chargers 2022 draft class and gave them a C+. Kind of mediocre, wouldn't you say? The point, though, is that once you actually start going through it, you actually see NFL.com's point. The crown jewel of that draft class was supposed to be guard Zion Johnson, who did, in fact, start 17 games, and he did hold his own. He just wasn't the dominating force that everybody thought he was going to be. He was actually overshadowed by a 6th-round draft pick named Jamari Salyer. If you recall, the Chargers' offensive line was just decimated by injuries. Salyer comes in, he's a rookie 6th-round draft pick, and he basically plays up and down the line and just was solid. He started 14 games for him. Now, the rest of them, honestly, they kind of stunk up the joint. like third round draft pick, a safety named JT Woods, a guy who's apparently averse to making tackles. So yeah, honestly, I think a C plus is kind of a fair grade. I mean, hold your nose with the rest of them Chargers picks. You did not hear a lot about Chargers rookies last year, which might have actually impacted their season deeply, because if you think about it, they had just as many injuries as the Rams did almost. Chargers barely got into the playoffs. The LA Kings are not just young at the NHL level. The Ontario Reign is their minor league affiliate. They are the fourth youngest team in the AHL, the Ontario Reign. The Ontario Reign age average is 24. Now, assistant GM Nelson Emerson gave a state of the franchise speech to talk about which prospects you could wind up seeing in the Kings uniform soon. Samuel Fagemo, for example, he compared him favorably to LA sharpshooter Victor Arvidsson. He hinted that Alex Turcotte could get called up, and he would not rule out defenseman Jordan Spence joining the Kings, even though Spence and Sean Dursey have the exact same skill set. But you let me know what you think in the comments, Fred. Are these 23 of the most important games of LeBron's career? Did the Dodgers make a mistake by hiring a known cheater? And if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We talk LA sports every day. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Corte El Queso production. Take care.